When it comes to a homeowner's dwelling limit, it's very easy to think about the right limit, but in the wrong way. Whether it's insuring a home or valuing the home or setting a correct limit for the dwelling, not having the right thought process can lead to some real issues. The agent is hopefully thinking correctly about the replacement cost of the house, but frequently the customer isn't. First, when it comes to the value of a home on a homeowner's insurance policy, we need the home's replacement cost. And that is the actual cost to rebuild it with the same features and the characteristics it had when it was originally built, plus the cost of any updates that will be required by local authorities in order to get a permit. And then there's an endorsement that can do that. The cost of the rebuild should reflect construction from scratch at today's prices for materials and labor and the contractor's profit. From an insurance company's perspective, this is the number we're after. This is the amount of money that would be needed to replace the house. So how might the homeowner be thinking differently? Well, many homeowners are thinking about the market value of the home. In other words, what their realtor told them they could sell it for. No, the value of the home on the real estate market is absolutely and completely irrelevant to insuring the home. We don't care. This way of thinking is often burned into the customer's brain because of the first time they closed on a house. At the closing, the mortgage company was insisting that the insurance match the amount of the loan. Now stop and think about that for a minute. I mean, I get the banker's motivation here. They want assurances that if the house burns down the day after closing, they're going to be made whole by the insurance. But that's the wrong way to look at it. The value of the home on the real estate market includes variables such as the value of the land. That part of town the house is in, the school district it's in. Even the trees on the lot can increase the value of the land. And the insurance company isn't insuring any of that stuff. Luckily, in many states, there are laws that prevent mortgage companies from forcing the owner to insure the value of the land when it's clearly not covered. Oh, and the reverse is true. In the same way that customers think that the resale value is an appropriate valuation method, some are confused and consider the property tax valuation. Again, we don't care. Another way that homeowners think incorrectly about the limit of insurance on their homeowners is that they think covering their outstanding mortgage obligation or the payoff value. Again, this is wrong. I mean, I get it. The homeowner's thinking that they can save some money by lowering the premium. But no, the homeowner isn't considering that homeowners policies aren't designed to do this. In fact, if they were to do it, the insurance policy may penalize them by taking away coverage for replacement costs on partial losses. In addition to this, they're not realizing that in a total loss, they've completely thrown away their equity in the home. When it comes to selecting the right limit on the customer's homeowner's policy, the agent of the company needs to be prepared to sit down with the client and talk them through what the policies actually mean, so that the client can have a full understanding of what their coverage actually does. If you enjoyed this video, please like and share it with anyone you think would benefit from it. We'll be doing more of these videos in the future, so please subscribe for more content as it comes. If you have any more questions you would like answered or topics you may not have a full understanding of, please comment below. And on behalf of all of us at the National Alliance, thanks.